Entitlement spending is on an upward trajectory, growing much faster than the economy. So if we don't do anything, we're either going to have massive debt in the future or massive tax increases on the middle class. Because one thing we've learned from Europe is that you can't finance big government on the backs of rich people. There just aren't enough of them. And when you start overtaxing them, they tend to disappear anyhow. So every European country that has big government, they don't tax rich people any higher than we do. They tax the middle class and lower income people with value-added taxes, very heavy social insurance taxes, huge energy taxes, and their income tax rates kick in at much lower levels and at much higher rates than what we have in the US. So if we don't fix entitlements, the number one thing to realize is that's a recipe for giant middle class tax increases. So therefore, we want to fix entitlements. How do we do it? Well, in the long run, it's actually pretty simple. With Social Security, we should copy countries like Denmark, the Netherlands, Sweden, Australia, and move to personal retirement accounts. And we should do that with the full understanding that current recipients and older workers who wouldn't be in the workforce long enough to benefit, they should be held harmless. But then younger workers, let them put their money in a personal account. Yes, there will be a transition cost, because if workers are putting their money in personal retirement accounts, who's going to fund the current benefits that have been promised? Well, you have to borrow money to do that. And some people have said, oh, but your plan is so irresponsible. We might have to borrow 10 trillion or 15 trillion or 20 trillion. Well, you know what? The unfunded liability of the Social Security system is over $50 trillion. So it's sort of like refinancing a mortgage. Maybe you pay a little bit up front, but you save a lot of money in the long run with that kind of Social Security reform. And so many countries around the world have successfully done it. And you have a savings-based retirement system instead of a tax and debt-based retirement system. It's much better for workers and the economy. But you know what? The biggest entitlements it's not Social Security. The biggest ones are Medicare and Medicaid. And Republicans actually had the right answer about 10 years ago in the Ryan budget. Paul Ryan's budgets, which were based on block granting Medicaid, in other words, repeating the success we had with welfare reform under Bill Clinton, and taking Medicare and moving it to a premium support system, sort of like the federal employees health benefits program. Those reforms by themselves would probably single-handedly solve the long-run spending problem associated with entitlements, but it's not just that they would solve the spending problem and also therefore avert these massive tax increases. We'd have a better healthcare system because we learned from welfare reform that putting the responsibility back on the states, letting them innovate, experiment, learn from each other, we'd get better results, just like we got better results in welfare reform. And the federal employees health benefits program, everyone realizes it's successful. You would give seniors with Medicare reform the choice of what health plan best fits them. The subsidy that they would get to buy those plans would grow by CPI +1. I think that was the formula. It would save trillions of dollars. But again, those budgetary savings are only part of the picture. Better healthcare policy is the other